makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm excited for this video because it is going to be another chatty Wednesday. I had a topic that I kind of wanted to talk about, but I was like holding back. I've been thinking about filming it for weeks now, but I just didn't know if I was ready to take myself there. And then I got a comment on a recent video asking for another chatty Wednesday, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna film it, and we're just gonna do it. So today I'm going to be drinking the Ruffino Rosé Sparkling Wine, and this wine actually has a funny story, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour myself a glass, and then we can talk about it. I have Splenda in the bottom of my cup because this wine is not only is it dry, it's extra dry, so I will tell you guys that story in just a minute. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump right in. Ooh, strong, because I actually have somewhere to go, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But so this wine, I turned 21 like, I don't know, like, wow, almost 2 months ago now actually, and I did not buy myself any alcohol or anything because my parents bought me a bottle of a wine that I really enjoy, so that's what I drank. And I just really didn't even think about it. I didn't go out, I didn't do anything crazy, just living the 21-year-old mom life. So I went to, in Pennsylvania, it's kind of hard to buy alcohol. Not hard, but you have to go to a specific store. A lot of places, like, you can't just go to Walmart and buy beer or anything. So I just didn't even think about it. And so I went to a store called Giant, and I'm pretty sure that they have them all over. But anyways, Giant has a little bit of everything, and I went in because my dad, he is supposed to be eating dairy free, but he's so awful at doing it. Like, he'll do anything to eat cheese. But he bought some dairy free cheese there, and we're walking, and I'm like, oh, they have wine here? Like, they're selling it here? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go buy a bottle, my first legal alcoholic drink that I'm buying. Like, I'm so excited. So I kind of just leave my dad, and I'm just walking with my son. Like, I don't even have him in a cart, I'm holding him, and I'm like, oh, I gotta pick out a bottle of wine, and I'm not even good at this. All I know is that I saw rosé, and I'm like, ooh, I really want to try rosé. And I saw that it was sparkling, which I prefer my wine to have carbonation, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get that one, the very first one. And it was already chilled, so I was like, can't beat that. So I picked out that bottle of wine, and I went up to the front of the store because I thought that's where, like, you bought it. So I went to my dad's aisle because he told me where he was checking out, and he was standing there already, like, halfway done. And I go to put the wine up, and my dad goes, oh no, you can't buy that here. And I'm like, you couldn't have told me that? Because he had seen me go off, and like, I don't know, I just didn't know that you were supposed to purchase in the back. And the lady who was checking us out did not realize that we were related, and she literally thought that I yelled at a stranger because I saw the look at her face. I didn't even yell. I just, like, kind of, I don't know, I didn't yell, but I kind of said it with a little bit of, like, you know what I mean. So I saw the look on her face, and I was like, no, this is my dad. He saw me getting it. Like, it's not a stranger. And she's like, oh, thank goodness. Like, she was, like, so confused at first, like, why I was yelling at this stranger. But then I had to go all the way to the back and buy it. And the funny thing about this wine is that it is extra dry, and I like sweet wine, so I was not paying attention at all when I bought it. I was just a little too excited. It's literally been sitting in my fridge for like 3 weeks now, so this is the perfect opportunity to finally drink it with Splenda. Because so I figured this was the perfect time to fill a chatty Wednesday, because I'm not even going to do anything fun. I'm just going to do a simple look with my Modern Renaissance, which I am panning. And like I said, I actually am going somewhere, which is why I'm trying to keep this short and not, like, I don't know, I'm not trying to do anything fancy. So I can't find my blending brush. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so my cousin actually became a doctor. She's a pharmacist, and she graduated, so we're going out to like a kind of like a late lunch, early dinner to celebrate her, so that'll be exciting. I know I'm bouncing around, but today we're going to be talking about insecurities. And I don't know, I thought maybe if I talk about insecurities, because everyone has them. Maybe it'll help you guys, or just, you know, I feel like it's so crazy that in this world there is, what is there, like 7 billion people. There's probably even more now than the last time I checked that statistic, but there's like 7 billion people, and at the same time you can still feel so alone and like you're the only person going through something or feeling something. And recently Raw Beauty Christie, who I love, she tweeted out and said, you know, what is your biggest insecurity? And I was reading through the thread, and I don't know about you guys, if anyone else saw it, but it just made me feel kind of validated in some of the fears and the insecurities that I go through, because I saw people after people listing them out, and I feel like for me, like I have a fear of not succeeding, of being a failure, and I don't know why, it just feels like I'm so alone in that. And then I read like so many people feel that same way and don't want to be a failure, which is like, duh, like who wants to be a failure? But it just made me feel a lot better. And then Christy went ahead and did a whole video talking about her biggest insecurity, and how like it's one of hers is that she just feels like she annoys her friends. And I think I've definitely had that in the past in certain situations. Luckily, I have the best friend in the entire world. Like, I'm just so blessed to have her. She's honestly my person. Like, we are 100% closer than Christina and Meredith. So I can't say that I deal with that insecurity anymore, even though it does suck where I live now. I feel like, I don't know, I don't have that many friends, but I am slowly making friends. Like, I am in a group of ladies from, I think some are from my church and a few are from churches around me, and they're all divorced or widowed women, and they're literally like the best. Like, at first I felt like kind of an oddball because I'm so young, but they're honestly so sweet, and like they've already blessed my life. So yeah, but anyways, I wanted to talk about insecurities probably from like when I was younger. Okay, so I don't even know how to go about this video because I don't want it to be like, wah, like my life is so hard, like kind of thing. I just kind of wanted to share some experiences, and I don't even know if they're going to go in order. I don't know if they're going to make sense. Every time I film a Chatty Winesday, I kind of push myself to be vulnerable and to talk about something that makes me uncomfortable, because this truly does. And I know I'm going to like mess up and like trip over my words and say the wrong thing, and just I get such anxiety filming these videos and putting them online, but then like your response is always so amazing. So hopefully this is the same. But I think growing up I always felt just ugly. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like a loser. And my sister, like everyone thought my sister was so pretty, and I just felt like I was like the ugly duckling. So I feel like I had a lot of insecurities because of that, and because I don't know, I feel like I'm one of those people, like someone says something to me once and I remember it for the rest of my life. So there are events, and like now I'm sure like I don't hold any beef with any of these people, but there's things that they did in like middle school and high school that just like stuck with me. Like in middle school, like I don't know why people think this is funny, but like if you've ever been the kid who's been in my spot, I'm sure you understand like how it's embarrassing. But like saying like, oh, this person likes you, like in front of them, and like trying to like make them feel like, almost trying to make them feel embarrassed because how could they possibly like you or think that you're pretty, like kind of thing. And that happened in one of my classes, and I just kind of felt like it was just like a big joke to the popular kids there, and I just felt like literally complete crap that day. And then there was another time in, I believe it was 9th grade, when like there was a girl, and I don't know why, like this is one of those things like, why do girls have to do this to other girls? But she was like, oh, he likes you, he thinks you're pretty. And the guy, he was pretty popular and pretty cute, even though now I'm like, what a jerk. He turned around, he was like, no offense, but I definitely don't think that you're cute, or something along those lines, something like that. And it just like literally I was like, okay, good. And I like turned around, but like when I went home I like cried my eyes out. Like I don't know, I feel like those kind of things, like maybe they wouldn't be that big of a deal to other people, but I'm just so sensitive that it stuck with me forever. And then there was another time, and I think this one like really like hurt me, struck me in the heart, because like at the time, like I'm just speaking past emotions. And basically I was in Color Guard in high school, and I did flag for 2 years and rifle for 2 years, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. It really brought me out of my shell. I mean, I'm still a shy person, but I think it definitely helped a lot with self-confidence. But in 10th grade, there was a guy who I thought was cute, and like every color guard girl thought he was cute, and we were going to an away game and we were all texting him, and my friend happened to be on his bus, and so she heard his conversation, and basically he was listing off the names of all the people that were texting him and was like, you know, there's too many people, who should I keep texting? And he said my name, and someone responded, like he was asking like who I was, and someone responded, like another guy, and said that I was a redhead, that I was pale, and I wore glasses. And when I heard that, like I legit started crying, and I don't know why my friend felt the need to tell me that he had said that, but I just like felt so insecure, like someone had taken like everything that I am and just threw out like the 3 biggest insecurities that I had about my looks, was just being like, because I used to always get called ghost, or that you could see through me, or different things, which now it's like, who cares? And then as far as like being a redhead, now again, I like being a redhead. I feel like it makes me different, but I just felt like it was the things that made me stand out. And then as far as glasses, I literally hated my glasses. Like I despised them, and I still hate wearing glasses to this day. I only ever wear my glasses when I'm sick or not feeling good, or when my eyes really hurt. Like I do not like to wear them, and I don't ever wear them in public. And I feel like that is an insecurity that has stuck with me, as my glasses. I just do not like the way I look at them with them at all, because I have a really strong prescription. So I feel like they make my eyes look really big, and I just look nerdy, and I don't like it at all. So I feel like those were like moments that just, I don't know, made me really insecure. And I think that that's one of the like reasons why I over time kind of dropped my standards, and I just wanted attention from guys, you know? I'm not saying I did any, well, yeah, I did something stupid. I got married at 18. I don't know, I feel like that insecurity like really affected my life, and now I'm just like, I think it's important to talk about your insecurities, especially now, because there are so many people who like are getting everything done online. And I saw a article or on the radio, or heard an article on the radio the other day, and they said spending just 1 hour on social media makes you feel like less satisfied with your life. And I think that's so sad. And I just want to say, like, if anyone's watching me, like, it's okay to be different. It's okay to not look like everyone else. Like, just own what makes you you. Like, it's good to be different. I think one of the things growing up that I've found, like, that I think is really cool, is that I think when I was younger, I really like, when I looked at my role models and everything, I thought that like boobs were everything. I don't know why. I need to just turn my phone on silent. Like, everyone wants to keep texting me. But I was like not obsessed with boobs, but I wanted boobs so bad, and I thought like that's what made you beautiful, like that's what made you have a good body. And I feel like the imaging and like in the magazines and everything I saw at the time, like that was the in thing, was to have boobs. And now it's definitely butt. But I think that as I've grown up, I've seen a lot of beautiful women who are flat chested, or who have A cups, or like just barely anything. And I think it's important to have that like diversity, and to know like that's not what makes you beautiful. Like, you are what makes you beautiful, not your assets or whatever. And I don't know, I think another lesson that I learned about insecurity is that even if something changes, you're still gonna have insecurities. Like, my body has completely 100% changed so much in the last like 2 years, because like I had a child, like I was pregnant, and then I had the baby, and then like getting back to like my pre-pregnancy body, and like literally my boobs went from B's to, gosh, was it double D's or triple D's? I can't even remember. And now they're back to C's. So I feel like I have like, my body is just like constantly changing, and I've got stretch marks now, and just all different kinds of things that it's like, even when I like had the boobs that I wanted because they finally grew, thank you hormones, it was like I still had something else to focus on, something else to nitpick at. And I think you can see that in other people who end up getting like different surgeries. And I'm not saying everyone, because I think some surgeries are really awesome, like get the body you want, you know, if there's something you really want to change and you're doing it for you and not for other people. But I think that you can see that, like, someone does one surgery and then they're like, oh, I want to fix this and I want to fix that, and then suddenly, like, nothing on them is the way that they were made originally. And I think it's easy to get out of hand, and I think that's just because even when you fix one insecurity, you're like, oh, I can fix this insecurity. Oh, and I never realized before, but this is wrong. And you can, like, there's always going to be something to be upset with or to not like about yourself. So I think that's why it's important to truly love yourself and for your confidence to come within what is on the inside and not the outside, because the outside is ever changing, and no matter how much you change it, it's not going to change the way your heart is, if that makes sense. And I think that's just something I've learned over time. And don't get me wrong, I still obsess about things. Like, I'm like constantly trying to work on my ab area, but I know, like, even if I get the flattest stomach ever, I'm still gonna have other insecurities to put my mind on, so there's no point in stressing about it. I think another eye-opening experience was that recently I saw Kristen Dominique did a video where she had surgery, and I mean, props to her for sharing, because some people, like, they don't want to talk about it because they get judged, and I totally understand that. But she had a surgery for her boobs, and I guess she had implants originally, had them taken out, and she had fat taken from her arm and put into her boobs, which is like so cool that science can do that. But it's funny because I look at her and I'm like, she's literally so perfect, and then you see her like thinking that like she has to take fat out of her arms, and she's like petite and tiny. And it just goes to show, like, no matter how beautiful or perfect you think someone is, because I have had pictures of her like as my goal for like working out and stuff, that no matter how perfect you think someone is, that doesn't mean that they're happy or confident, or, you know, like, they still have things that they're going through. And that's the same thing for you. Like, you might feel like you don't look good and someone else will think that you do, but it doesn't matter because it's what's inside. And like, I saw like all the things that she's done to her body now. She's had like a tummy tuck and all different things, which, girl, I had a baby too, I totally understand. But I think it's just important to keep that like in your head, that no one is perfect, and no matter how much you change, it doesn't matter, because it's what's inside. Which I'm not saying it's not okay to change, because I'm all, like I said, I'm pro surgery, I'm pro doing whatever makes you happy. But I think it's important to realize that, like, no matter how big your boobs or butt or how flat your stomach is, it's what's inside that counts. I don't know, so that's just something that I've been thinking about lately, and I thought I would share. And I still have like my fair share of insecurities about, like I said, about being a failure, and I just want to be an amazing mom, and I feel like everyone feels like sometimes they're failing as a mom. I think that just goes with the territory. Like, whenever I think when I was at 40 weeks, I had a conversation with one of my cousins, and I said, I still feel like I'm not ready to be a mom. And she said, that just shows that you are, because no one in their right mind is ready, you know, like. And I feel like it's the same thing with just being a mom in general. Like, if you're worrying that you're doing a good job or a bad job, I think that just shows that you're worrying, that your cares are there, like that's what's in your heart. Because I worry all the time about everything that I'm doing and the way I handle decisions and situations. And like, I know my son is still a baby, a toddler now. He's actually almost 18 months. Tomorrow he's 18 months. It's crazy. But I think of him as what he'll be when he's a man, and how he'll feel when he's growing up, and like the different things, like, I don't know, like, I just think about him as more than just a baby all the time, and how he'll feel about certain decisions that I'm making now. I think that's important, and I think that no matter what happens in the future, he will see that I love him more than anything. So, speaking of things to change, just figured I'd throw this out there, because why not talk about it since I've got the time, and I always run out of conversations. But I've always wanted to try self-tanning, and part of me, like, especially now that I have a channel, has held back and not tried it, because I like being able to do like light fair skin swatches and the lightest shade foundation, and just all different things that relate to me being super fair, since I know it helps you guys a ton. So I think that's kind of stopped me, but I really want to just see what it's like to be tan and to wear like different makeup. And I kind of decided to go ahead and just purchase some self tanner from Loving Tan. I think what really got me like made me decide to do it is the fact that I have so much makeup that I bought because I thought it would work for me, and it's just a little bit too dark. So I'm like, if I self-tan, like I'll have so much makeup that I can use and try and get through that I really think would look beautiful if I was a little bit tanner. So I just figured I would try it for the summer, and I have like 3 lightest shade videos I'm gonna finish up before I self-tan. Hopefully I can get those all done, and I'm gonna do 1 fair skin face swatch video of a highlighter palette, and then I will, just for the summer, I will try self-tanning. I don't think I'll bring it into winter or anything, and I don't even know if it's gonna go good. I got Loving Tan and I got medium, and someone replied to my Insta story and said that I was gonna regret it because she got one that was I think she got light, and she said it made her super tan, and medium was the lightest one that Loving Tan had. So I don't know if I'm gonna look crazy or if I'm gonna look orange or what, because I've never, actually I had one experience before, but it was awful. Like I didn't even read the directions. I didn't know anything, but now I've watched so many different videos on self-tanning that I think hopefully I can do this and it'll be okay. And I got my mom to agree to do my back whenever the time comes because I don't want it to be streaky or anything. And I've been using a gradual self-tanner, like just a lotion from Jergens, and I feel like it may have made just a tiny bit of difference, but I just want to try something new, you know. And I'm kind of been dabbling with cutting my hair because it is really long. I don't know if you guys realize in my videos, but my hair literally touches my butt. So I don't know, I'm not doing it because I hate being fair. I just thought it'd be fun to just try something different. And I'm like, I'm going to my sister's in July, and I can't wait to see my little baby nephew. I love him so much. And I'm like, we're gonna be in the pool, I'm sure, and just doing things, so maybe I'll be tan. Of course, then I'm like I really need to try on the bathing suit that I have and see if I hate how it looks, because I have like a toothpaste and I'm like, I don't know about that. And then I have one that I got from I think, is it Zaful? Yeah, Zaful. And it is so cute. It's like a one piece and it's like black and it's like really low cut, so I feel really good in it, but also I don't think I can wear that in front of my dad. So I don't know, my family is just a lot more conservative, and like I totally understand. Like I originally got it because I thought I was going to be visiting my friend in Florida this summer, but she's supposed to be finished with her time in Japan, but she's not, so she had it extended because she got married. So I can literally hear my siblings yelling upstairs. Mom?
You're on speaker.
Okay, hey, are the kids in the office?
The boys are?
Can you tell them to go, because I can hear them yelling through the walls and I'm filming.
Okay. Your box came in.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you, thank you.
Yep.
My Ulta order's here. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go through my collection and I'm just gonna pull out everything that I have not been using because it was a little bit too dark for me. I can think of several highlighters immediately, like off the bat, like especially is it Fuego from Joseph Colors and Desi Times Katie? I bought that and I can kind of make it work with my fair skin, but I think if I'm just a touch darker, it is gonna be so good. And then I've got a few different foundations. Like I don't even know what foundation will end up matching me whenever I do self-tan. I don't know how dark it's gonna be. I know nothing, but I have the LA Girl Pro Coverage one. This is their lightest shade. I did a whole video on this. It's crazy, but I'm like, whatever. I'm sure I'll end up mixing that or maybe using it on its own if it's crazy. I don't know. We'll see. I just ordered it, so I don't know how quick it will come in, but I'll probably do it after this coming week because I have something very exciting coming up that I'm pretty much gonna die. I think I mentioned it to you guys before, but this coming Friday, 6 days from now, I don't know if you'll even see this video before the concert happens, but I'm going to a Harry Styles concert. I love Harry Styles. I've been obsessed with him since, I don't know, I was like 14, and I have never gone to a real concert before, so this is the first one. And last year I was in such a bad place. Not a bad place, because I had gotten out. Just gotten out of a bad place when I bought the tickets, and it was kind of just like my reward to myself. Like, you get through this year and you're gonna see Harry freaking styles. So that is what happened. I made it through the year, and I'm gonna go see the love of my life, basically. So I'm so excited, and I'm just dying. I'm just imagining all the situations in which I accidentally meet him and he falls in love with me, which will probably not happen, but a girl can dream, right? So I'm just so excited to even see him, and like just the idea of being like in that concert and like seeing him and him like being like a real person, like in the same really big room as me. Like, I try not even to think about it because my heart can't handle it, honestly. I'm so excited. So I will definitely keep you guys updated if anything cool happens. I'm sure it won't, because I never have like amazing things happen to me, but I'm so excited. I've never even seen a celebrity in person. I've never ran into anyone, seen anyone, anything, never gone to a big concert. So this is like a whole new thing for me, and I'm just, honestly, I'm legitimately dying. Yep, dying. I can leave a picture on screen for you guys if you want to get a good laugh that I did. This was my profile picture on Facebook when I was in high school, and I swore that it was real to anyone who asked. Obviously it wasn't, but then you guys can see me in my nerdy little glasses that I despised. Ooh, something to talk about. Let's talk about shows, because I love watching shows so much. So I'm on my third show recently. So I finished up Private Practice, which is a show based off of Grey's Anatomy, and I watched it because I really like Addison. Like, she's beautiful and I just love her character, so that's why I watched it. But that show is so stupid. I hated half the characters. I hated the decisions they made. Hated where they went with it. Like they had a whole thing where she ends up being, sorry if this is a spoiler alert to anyone who wants to watch it, skip like 10 seconds of this video, but they had a whole thing where she ended up being with her best friend's ex-husband. And I'm sorry, but you can try and make it like, oh, they're so in love, like they can't help it, like love just is love, whatever. Like, I would never ever do that to someone who's truly a friend. Sorry, that would just be, that's off limits. I just didn't like that show at all. And then I went ahead and watched the first season of The Good Doctor. And if you like medical shows, please go watch that show. It is so funny and clever, and I feel like I learned a lot, because basically it's a show about a doctor who has autism, but he's a genius. And I really did not know that much about autism, and I've done a little research since then. I actually watched some videos on YouTube of people who are like on the autism spectrum, and I feel like I learned a lot. And I feel like because he does have autism, I've watched so many medical shows where it's just like, oh, they're gonna do this next, or like it just feels so like you can predict what's gonna happen, but I just felt like I couldn't with this show, and I feel like it had me on my toes all the time, and it was so interesting, and I don't know, I really like it, and thought-provoking. So I really hope that they're coming out with a second season. I will definitely keep watching it, because I thought it was really good. I don't know anyone personally who has autism, so I'm not sure how accurate it is or what, but the guy who plays him is also the same person who plays in Bates Motel, which is another show I really love, and he's such a good actor. And normally I don't like comment on people's acting on whether it's good or bad. Like, I see people say like, oh, this was so cringeworthy or whatever. Like, I just enjoy the show for what it is. Like, I'm not a critic, I'm just watching the show for enjoyment. So I'm going to use ColourPop Lunch Money. I've been using this constantly, and I feel like you can't even tell. Like, just trying to, again, this was one of the products I really am trying to use up all the way, because I've had it for a while and I really want to go through some of the ColourPop products that are starting to dry out. I thought to myself, I'm like, I'm almost at that point in the video where I don't have anything else to talk about, but I'm almost done. All I have left is lips and setting spray, so I guess I'm not doing that bad. Oh wait, I didn't even put blush on. What am I thinking? So I'm just gonna go in with a different one. I'm gonna use Urban Decay Fetish. I got this on sale recently. Just throw a little bit of that on. That's so pretty. Gonna use the Makeup Revolution Illuminating Fixing Spray. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to keep it really, really simple. I'm just going to go in with the Too Faced Sweet Peach Creamy lip oil. I love lip oils so much. This one is just like a light pinky shade. Which I might end up throwing something else on top, but for now this will work. Okay, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like I got a little bit rambly at some point, but either way, hopefully you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.